You don't break all at once. You crack slowly, one disappointment at a time, one silence at a time, one unmet expectation at a time. And then, without warning, you find yourself staring into a version of yourself you no longer recognize. It's not loud. The breaking is quiet. It echoes only inside you. People see your face and not your fractures. They hear your words, but not your weight, and the world moves on, as if you didn't just collapse quietly in the middle of a conversation. You keep asking, why does it hurt so much to care, to love, to give, to show up when others retreat? Why does your heart feel like a battlefield where only you stayed behind to pick up the pieces? Here's the bitter truth. You were taught that to care deeply is noble. But you were never warned that without boundaries, caring becomes your chain. So you tried to be soft in a world that rewards hardness, tried to give endlessly, thinking love would echo back, tried to hold everything together until your own hands bled from the grip. But Stoicism doesn't tell you to stop feeling. It whispers, feel but don't be ruled by it. It teaches that strength isn't the absence of pain, it's the refusal to become a slave to it. You thought pain meant something was wrong, but Marcus Aurelius once said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You thought being broken meant being weak, but Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And in those ancient words, you begin to see clearly, maybe your suffering didn't come from what they did, but from how tightly you held on to what they never promised. The Stoics don't ask you to become numb. They invite you to become unmoved by what you cannot control, to stop tying your peace to outcomes, to stop placing your worth in other people's recognition, because when your joy is borrowed from others, they become the landlords of your soul. You confuse sacrifice with virtue. You offer too much thinking. That's what makes you good. But goodness without wisdom is a fire with no shelter. You burn for everyone else and leave yourself in ashes. There's a reason Seneca wrote, he is most powerful who has power over himself, not over others, not over circumstances, but over the internal chaos, the fear, the need, the longing to be seen. You've suffered not because you were broken, but because you kept giving others the key to your peace. And now you stand here, bruised, tired, but still breathing. And maybe, just maybe, that's where it begins. The shift, the quiet turning inward, the realization that life owes you nothing but you owe yourself everything. You start noticing what you never did before, how peace isn't found in their apology, or their return, or their love. It's found in your ability to remain still when the storm hits, to say, this is not mine to carry. You see, Stoicism is not the absence of emotion. It's the discipline of choosing which emotion gets to lead. Not all fires need to be fed. Not all wounds need to be reopened. So now, when you feel broken, you sit with the pain, you trace it back, you name it, and then you let it go. Like watching a ship disappear on the horizon, you don't chase it anymore. You remember that your value was never in their eyes. Your peace was never in their presence. Your worth was never conditional. And as you stand alone in your room, with all the weight you once thought would crush you, you find that you're still standing, still breathing, still whole, not untouched, but undefeated, because now you know. The breaking wasn't the end. It was the invitation to return, to rebuild, not into the person you once were, but into someone unshakable. There's nothing louder than a soul that's finally at peace. Nothing stronger than someone who has mastered their reaction. Nothing more beautiful than a heart that has chosen stillness over struggle. So you stop explaining, stop chasing, stop proving. You just live, anchored, silent, and whole, because you finally understood the sacred thing. You were never broken. You were just becoming.